Hello everyone, I'm Shanki, I'm 29 and I finally decided to open my own shop. I do work full time, so I'm not going to quit my job to do this, although I wish. It might be a bit unusual to start with the negatives, but I do want to address some of the reasons as to why I haven't done this in my early 20s. I've been a creative person my whole life, as you can see from this very adorable picture of me and my twin sister in Italy in kindergarten. And when I graduated university with a degree in fine arts and illustration, I did go straight into the adulting world where I felt like I lost the spark for art. So I basically wasn't really doing much, creative wise. And it was hard, to be honest, because, growing up, like I said, I always did something, and to go from that to basically nothing, I felt like I was letting myself down. And only a couple of years ago, I got into digital art. So I saved money and I bought an iPad, which I still use to this day. And I taught myself to do digital art, which was a challenge in itself, not gonna lie, to go from traditional to like a smooth screen that was completely different. And it threw me off. And I almost gave up on it, not gonna lie, but I did tell myself, you know what, you saved up, you spend that money, you're not gonna waste it. So I did stick with it, and I'm glad I did. You know the phrase long story short? Yeah, I'm basically the opposite. Like, I'll take you on all the side quests before remembering that I was actually talking to you about the main storyline. And I'll probably throw in some like random information that probably don't really have much to do with it, but in my head, it's kind of related. I'm also an oversharer, overthinker, have anxiety. I'm probably a little bit neurospicy. And, I can be a bit socially awkward as well. So you put all of that in a pot, and you get a bit of a self-conscious girly. Another thing is I don't wear makeup, and I don't really do anything with my hair. And in a world where there are so many beautiful people out there on the internet, I feel like my confidence is not the best. And I don't really sleep at night either, so I feel like I have bags for days. And another thing I'm very conscious about are my hands, because on top of having all the things that I mentioned before, I do have OCD as well. So yeah. Then, of course, one big factor is time. Like I said, I do work full time. And when you have chores, gym, cooking, a social life, spend time with your boyfriend, travel, and, do the thousand hobbies that you seem to collect, where does a business fit? It feels like there's not enough time to do it all. And finally, the last thing for me is not having a studio, let alone like an aesthetic one for social media purposes. Like, you're literally looking at my studio. And that's because I don't even have a desk. So I can't even do like the cute little desk setups where I could show you like my progress of what I'm working on. I would literally get into comfy clothes, set up on the sofa with a cozy blanket. I always have to have a blanket, even in hot weather. And I would just put something in the background, and draw basically. And sometimes I would even try and fit in two hobbies together. So basically gaming, like play Call of Duty with my friends, and then try to draw in between the matches. And not gonna lie, that's not very productive because not much gets done then. It's mainly just me like raging. So yeah, that sort of summarizes why I haven't done this sooner. And if you can relate to any of it, then you're in good company. But this is something that I've always wanted to do. So I'm just going to pretend that these excuses don't exist. Ultimately, it would be great if I can grow a following from it and get some money, even as a side hustle, if I can't do it full time. But let's not think about that. Let's be positive and manifest. But yeah, honestly, I just want this to be a space where I can be unapologetically myself, be transparent, and just have fun. Okay, so now that I know I want to open a shop, how do I go from here to launch? And no, this is not a guide. This is just me telling you my plan. So one thing that I thought of was branding, and it did take me a while to settle on Sweet Nightmares. And even then, both my boyfriend and my brother asked me, why Sweet Nightmares? Because you mainly post on your art account sweet things. So where's the nightmare part? And to me, Sweet Nightmares represents myself and my life in general. So the sweet part represents the good days where I feel at peace with life and I'm happy, and the nightmare part represents the bad days where I struggle with mental health and I'm just probably overstimulated with life stresses. And honestly, I just love both cute and dark things, so I feel like it kind of suits me. Then I thought about brand colors. So for me, the main color would be green, and secondary colors would be blue and pink, which is probably for the best because when I did my research, I did see that a lot of businesses have pink as the main color, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Actually, looks very cute, but I just feel like it's a bit overused. So maybe that might make me stand out a little bit more, hopefully. I always loved the idea of having stickers, so those are definitely going to go in there, no questions about it. And then I was looking into some magnetic bookmarks and washi tape, just because I know a lot of people do journaling now and maybe scrapbooking and stuff like that. So yeah, why not? Because I literally have, sorry, because I literally have 46 followers on Instagram, and those are mainly family and friends who don't even like my post, let's be honest. I am opting for Etsy as my platform for the shop, and I know it's not ideal because of the fees and stuff like that, but I feel like because I don't have a big following at the moment, for engagement is probably the better option for me. I'm a big planner and I like to be organized, so I am going to make sure that I'm ready for any orders I may get. And I have looked at some sustainable options already for packaging, like paper glassine. Is it glassine paper bags? I always do this. I swap the words around. Anyway, yeah, so glassine paper bags, and I will also have some sort of personalized stamps because I feel like that's one of the most cost-effective ways to add your branding to packaging. Equipment wise, I do have a microphone and a tripod that you're standing on, and that's just because I knew that was going to create more content, so I wanted to kind of improve my quality and also make it a bit easier on myself. But I'm literally filming on an iPhone. I didn't even have a laptop, so I'm literally going to be using iPhone and iPad. And for editing stuff, I'm going to be using CapCut and Canva, and hopefully that works. I did have a look at some manufacturers, but I'll talk to you about it in a future video because I do want to order some samples first. And to do that, I need to have product designs ready to go. So that's actually what I'm working on right now, on top of just like other creative stuff, I suppose, for social media. So I am trying to, at the same time, grow a following. So yeah, those are my main steps right now. Create products and grow a following. I think that's everything for now. I am going to use this channel as sort of like a diary and share my journey, but I also feel like it would be nice for myself to look back on when I'm 30 next year, or when I'm older, and just see what I started. But yeah, I do generally like doing vlogs. I do it all the time when I travel, so this is more like for myself, like another creative outlet. But hopefully you enjoyed it as well, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.